Kinfolk, I have a season 15 Real Housewives of Atlanta rumor that's going to leave you saying, hell no. What's going on? Well, I have some new information that will answer that question and more right after this. What's up, Kinfolk? And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, Kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around a Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15 rumor that will leave you saying, hell no. I also have some new information why this rumor could allegedly and potentially mean the end of the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. What is it? Well, I have some information that's going to answer that question and more. And here it goes. Rumors are that Porsha Williams has started to officially push her way back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. This move has allegedly frustrated some of the current Real Housewives of Atlanta cast members. However, it is Porsha's new alleged move that has the current cast fired up to new levels. This would be a bad move by the network if true. A move like this would tear the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise apart and leave fans extremely upset, said the source. So what is Porsha's new alleged move? Rumors are that she is angling with the network and production to be the new executive producer on the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta if she returns. Crazy, right? Ended the source. But the question is, will the network and producers give in to Porsha's demand? Well, industry insiders say it depends on how desperate the network is to get Porsha back. Insiders say that the network and producers are still highly interested in Porsha and Simon's relationship. However, a move of making Porsha an executive producer seems to suggest otherwise, said the insider. What producers want is the drama of Simon and Porsha's relationship. And by making Porsha an executive producer, you give her complete control over making sure that her relationship drama never airs. So why even bother paying her all of that money and giving her so much control if she's going to block the juicy side of her relationship, said the insider. However, besides angering fans with a crazy idea like this, producers, one insider said, should be really worried about the current ladies of Real Housewives of Atlanta jumping ship if this alleged move is made. When asked how the housewives took the news of this rumor, a source said one housewife in particular simply said, hell no. Now, Kinfolk, when I first heard this rumor, the first thing in my mind was, I know the network cannot be serious about doing this. The next thought I had was, I know producers cannot be serious about potentially doing this. And the reason why I said that is because, if I'm not mistaken, Porsha was an executive producer on her own spinoff show. And you saw what kind of circus that created for not only Porsha, Simon, and their family, but also for the network. So when I heard this rumor, I was like, this is the ultimate bad move that a network, especially a network for franchises such as the Real Housewives, could make. And the reason why a move like this is so horrible is simply because of this. If the network makes this move, and right now it's all alleged information and all speculation, but however, if they made a move like this, it would literally wipe out all integrity that the Real Housewives franchise producers have with the fans. The whole point of the Real Housewives franchise across all of the series is to simply document the ladies' reality, to simply document what is going on in their lives, to simply document how organic they are living their lives and interacting with one another. What happens, happens, and if they happen to be filming, it happens on film. They document it and they present it to us as the fans and as the viewers. However, if you give one housewife executive producer credits and executive producer control over not only her storyline, but the other storylines of the other ladies, then you create a hostile work environment right off the bat. Not only that, you make the entire Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise less equitable. So here you have, let's say, 6 ladies, including Porsha. You have 5 of those ladies who are bearing their truth out for the audience each week, who are sitting there and documenting their trials, their tribulations, their struggles, and also their triumphs. And they're being in these vulnerable positions. And then you have another housewife who has alleged executive producer control over storylines and how not only her image is being presented, but how the other ladies' images are being presented. Then you are already creating a system for disaster, because you have one housewife who would seem like she is not being real or being her authentic self and giving her authentic self each week to the viewers on camera. Which leads to the next issue that this alleged rumor could cause for the franchise. And it's this. This is a franchise that has built its entire brand on being equitable for women, to show women across the board who are watching the things that they go through, and how no matter how glamorous, how nice their lives are, they still have issues and still have personal things that they're dealing with. If you make a move like this, you really tear away at the fabric of what the Real Housewives of Atlanta brand is. It's not only about being aspirational or presenting an aspirational lifestyle. It's also a self-help tool for other women who look up to these ladies on the show. So by having one housewife allegedly protecting her image, protecting her true storyline, protecting her truth, while the other ladies are bearing their soul week after week, you take away a very important piece of what the Real Housewives franchise brand, especially Atlanta, is. And then you begin to lose viewership, because then it becomes like this charade. Then it becomes like this fake thing. And then it becomes this thing where, you know what, that's not fair, I'm not going to watch. And so then you run the risk of potentially seeing the end of your reality TV show franchise, because you are trying to protect one person. And then that leads into the next issue, and the last issue that I have with this alleged rumor, and I think a lot of other fans would have with this rumor as well. And it's also kind of frustrating if you think about it from the production side of things because of this. If this rumor is true, and again, it's all speculation, it would seem as if you would thought producers and the network had learned their lesson by not centering the franchise around one person. You see how that backfired when you did it with Nene. They see how Nene flipped on them as soon as she didn't get her way. Think about the things Porsha may do. I mean, the blueprint is already there. Nene has shown not only Porsha but other housewives how to run the blueprint of getting what you want out of Bravo. And you see how that almost brought the whole series and franchise to an end during season 13 when Nene was no longer on the show. And so then you lost Nene because you were unwilling to say, you know what, Nene, what you're doing is not fair. You didn't want to hold her accountable. And so you lost Nene, and then you're trying to struggle. You're struggling to scramble to figure out how we're going to make a show that we centered around one person work. And then you came to season 13 and you decided to make the whole season. And you know, it's speculation that this was actually decided upon. But from the outside looking in, it just seems as if producers decided to make the entire season 13 storyline about Porsha. And you see what they did for ratings. You see what they did for fan morale. And so to go a whole nother season during season 14, when you're finally back at the number 1 spot, when fans are finally saying we have those organic days back. It's finally a sisterhood again. And to bring Porsha in and allegedly run that same season 12 and season 13 play that caused you to fumble your Bravo and Real Housewives of Atlanta bag simply doesn't make sense. Very frustrating if you're on the outside looking in. And if you're on the inside looking out, you may be wondering to yourself, I know my team is not this crazy. So kinfolk, right now, we're just going to take this rumor with a grain of salt and hope that this is not something that the network and producers are seriously thinking about doing. I talked to some sources, and a couple of them said this rumor really has no validity. And right now, that production is allegedly still focusing on the current cast of ladies and haven't quite reached out to Porsha just yet. However, there are other rumors and other news reports that are saying otherwise, but my source, they're fairly confident on what they're saying. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think an alleged move like this would mean the end of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? If you think so, let me know in the comment section below. And if you don't, let me hear what you have to say about the issue as well. Alright, kinfolk, I hope you enjoyed this video as always. If you have, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace. I just like spit somewhere. Okay.